Rebecca Jones, who is a city council member for the city of San Marcos, and she is running for mayor of San Marcos. And we wanted to have her on to talk about her campaign and talk about being endorsed by San Diego County gun owners. Rebecca, cool. Are you there?
I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm Dave. That was Michael, and we got Hollywood in the house.
Can't wait to talk about what you got going on.
He's the one with the accent, in case you get confused.
Okay. Okay. Well, you'd like to tell me? Would you like me to tell you a little bit about myself?
Perfect.
Let's start there. Okay. I'm a San Marcos resident, of course. I have been elected to the city council in 2008, 2012, and then in 2016. And this year I'm running for mayor. So I'm very excited about my campaign. I've been working on it for a few months now, and I'm looking forward to getting elected as mayor and leading our wonderful city of San Marcos. If you've never been here, I invite you, and I'd love to take you on a tour. We have so much to do here, and you can bring your hiking boots, and you can experience some of our amazing walking trails here.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what got you into politics in the first place. I mean, becoming a mayor is very commendable, and I think it'll be a wonderful. But what actually got you off your chair and into politics, period?
Shoot, I think everyone starts out the same way. I think we find something that we're passionate about, and I think we just kind of go, well, can I do more on the activist sort of side, or is it better to be elected? And so I opted for a leadership role because I was an activist. I didn't like some of the things that the city council was actually approving, and so I stood up and said, okay, I'm going to answer the call, and that's what I did.
Wow.
Well, it is called Gun Sports Radio.
Yeah.
And, there in San Marcos, you have a couple of great businesses. You have Worldwide Ammo Distribution, which is a subsidiary of the Gun Range San Diego. And you also have North County Firearms, and they're building a huge, beautiful range up there. It just broke ground this year. How do you feel about that happening in your city? And then can you give us a little bit some of your insight on the Second Amendment, how you feel about that?
Sure. Well, thank you for asking because, nothing gets built in the city that's that big and significant without your city council approving that. So when that actually came forward, well, and actually let me go back a little bit further. So when the consultant actually came to us, we didn't actually have a zone that would allow such a business because when we updated our general plan in 2012, we just didn't really think about that. So I don't really have an issue of saying, well, you know what, just because it's not in our zoning doesn't mean we can't allow it. So I think it's a really good opportunity for people to get trained in gun safety, which I think is a big part of kind of the disconnect of people think, well, guns aren't safe. Well, they're not safe if you're not getting, trained properly. So I think that actually is a great opportunity. It's also a lot of people like, just the recreational opportunity to do so. And it's a safe venue, so I like that. And, quite frankly, North County Firearms has been a great business in our city. They have a proven track record of just really working with the city on things. And so I think it's important that you have the right partner, you have an opportunity, and, of course, it's a good venue for people to learn the gun safety. So I think for those reasons, I think it's a great addition to our city. And I haven't been over there since they broke ground. I was actually there at groundbreaking. So I'm excited. I actually just saw a video online the other day that they were kind of showing us around. So I want to go in and check that out. It's pretty exciting. The video of Darren and Stan showing around they've come a long way since they broke ground. I know. I can't even believe how much it's changed. And you were a big part of that. And there was, it's always when it's a big facility like that, and it's a big, because they're building it from ground up, and it's a gun range and everything, right from the foundation up. There's always a couple of twists and turns, and you were a big part of helping them out. And I know Darren and Stan are super grateful for the help that you and some of the other folks in the city council gave them. Sure. Yes. Well, and I think that's unfortunately, I hate to say it, but there's always challenges that come with development. I mean, you have to make sure that you have the ingress and egress right. You have to make sure your traffic counts are good, and you just have to make sure that everything kind of works out. So there's a lot that goes into land use, and we have a wonderful staff. I'm very happy that they have been able to move this forward because, definitely there are challenges of building any facility that big.
No kidding.
And now so we endorse you proudly. Very happy to endorse your run for mayor. Tell us what an endorsement from San Diego County gun owners means to you.
Well, I think part of it is, we have the same values. We're like-minded. We want sensible gun policy, not something that's over the top that, is not protecting our Second Amendment rights. I think it's important that we have the opportunity to have a voice, and I think that I can be that voice. And I'm very sensible. I don't even call myself a politician. I actually call myself a civic leader because I love the fact that people want to come up and talk to me about things and hear what my feelings about things are, and so I love that dialogue. And at elected local level, you can really do that. You really get to talk to people. You see them in the grocery store. You see them, at the dry cleaners. I mean, you just run into people all the time. Heck, out on the hiking trails too. So I think it's great to have a voice that is sensible, and I think, like I said, we really share those same values. So I think that's good.
And if somebody wants to help you out on your campaign, what do you recommend? What's the best thing they should do?
Well, obviously, I have a website, of course. It's I have some great people on my team. It's RebeccaJones2018.com, and I'm excited to actually be able to share that so people can go to my website. They can sign up to walk precincts for me. They can actually donate to my campaign. We do have sort of strange policy for our donations. It's a maximum of $250 per person, $500 per household. But anything is greatly appreciated, of course. So donations and just being able to sign up and walk precincts, put up signs, there's a lot that can be done, and I'm just very grateful for everything that anyone does.
And,
I really am.
And Rebecca's just another example. She started out at the city council. She's hopefully going to win for mayor, and who knows what her political future holds. But it's just sitting down and talking to her philosophically about the Second Amendment, where she stands, and knowing the story behind North County Firearms and what they went through, and just comparing, you talked a little bit, Rebecca, about there really was no specific zone that spelled out gun range, but you guys went out of your way to make it happen. When you compare that to a city like Carlsbad that actually used that to try to keep a range from getting their permit, and it's people like you and the folks that you worked with in the city council to get this done. These are the folks that we want to support for higher office and make sure they get elected. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Just because, like I said, it's okay to admit that you didn't, plan for a gun range or a shooting range in your city, but you have to be able to look at that and say, okay, well, we don't have it, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't have it. And I think that's an important part of the dialogue. I think a lot of people just think, well, it doesn't fit, and it's just this just how it is. But as new technology evolves, as new things come up as far as venues and that sort of thing, we have to be very flexible and provide things that I think our community would want. And I know that it's important to have things for people to do that are definitely. I mean, my son, he has several firearms, and I don't want him to go out and shoot it in a place that, he doesn't do this, by the way, but, shoot it in a place where it's not safe. But I think, you have to provide those areas. So I think, you just have to look at it as a big picture. Does this make sense? Yes. Is it a good business? Yes. And, people can learn how to safely use a firearm. That's big to me. Very important.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Well, I tell you what. Yeah. We're going to have to let you go, unfortunately. That's typical of 1 hour radio. That's why I do 3 on automotive. I did go to Facebook, so it was Rebecca Reese Jones.
Yes.
So I just
lived in San Diego my whole life.
I just sent you a friend request. So and everybody, that's got all the information there as well. Well, I have a sneaky feeling we're going to be talking to you later on down throughout the year, and anything, of course, we can do to help you with your cause, we're here for you.
And save me a dance at gun prom.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Without someone doing something about it, it's not going to get any better.